You know, I was sitting here thinking about incarnation, what God told me. He was like, normally you incarnate with the same friends. Every time y'all reincarnate, it's the same group of y'all. Family, it ain't friends, it's family really. It's that tree, you just separated. But you in close proximity, you probably wind up growing up being friends. So I was just thinking about that. So the girls, the women, and the men probably the same. It's energy. And I was just thinking about the friends that I hung with my whole life. Uh, seven compadres, whatever you want to call them. But and I was remembering when I seen these goddesses wake up when they sacrificed me, and it was about seven of them, and I was just sitting here thinking how a lot of them I done came across, you know, and I was thinking about how one I still listen to on a lot of them on social media. I came across a lot of y'all on social media, and one I still listen to. I know for a fact would have been. I'm starting to realize who would have been with who in the family tree, and I had this. I woke up having this nightmare. It really wasn't a nightmare for me, but I wasn't gonna tell it. But I'm gonna tell a little bit of it. I ain't gonna tell all of it. But in this nightmare, I was riding down the road, and I had my arms around this girl's neck, like holding her. Well, we were holding each other in the car, and we were friends though. And she was just telling me we were talking about another girl, and the car came up on a great hill, and all of a sudden, the hill came up. We bounced out the car all the way up in the air into some power lines and got electrocuted. And the first person I thought about, no offense to that, and I know that, you know, I took my coat. We went so far up in the air, we would have died if we would have landed. So I took my coat off and I turned it into a parachute, and I told her to hold on. But I think she was stuck on though. I think she died through an electrocution. I don't die doing electricity, so it didn't bother me. So I was telling her to hold on. And the first person I thought about was that twin, bro. she, Cause she could be a nightmare, but I don't know if she knows her strip, but she could be a nightmare as well. But anyway, I was listening. I was thinking about my messages after that. And I'm like, what's going on? And my message is about relationships. Listen, y'all, I don't know nothing about relationships. I never had one like that. I know who was supposed to be in relationships with me. And I do know one particular person out of these 13, they hooked up to me. But that don't mean we're gonna be together. If we be together, that'll be a great thing, outstanding. I really don't hear from her that much no more. And I'm kind of glad she kind of stay away because I think she realized somebody be attacking me and they attack my social media and whoever messaged me. So I'm glad she stay away. But I can still feel it in my bones though. I know the way they hooked us up, they can't unhook us, put it that way. So we put together forever. Cause they replaced the flame parts with her. I mean, they replaced replaced some of the cords that was on the flame to her, which was fair. They couldn't replace all of them, but they replaced the one that needed to be replaced. Because in the energy me and my flame is, it wasn't good to share a belt with her. We were nowhere near on the same level. And it was damaging me because my flame vibration is so much different from mine. So that's all I know. I know who she is to me in the spiritual, the twin. I know a little bit about what we supposed to go in the physical, but whether it get there or not, I like to wait to cross them bridges when I get there, you know? But like I said, I feel her, but I haven't heard from her in a long time. Not that long, but it's been a minute. So, and the other lady I was talking about yesterday, she really just like a backup if all the other women fail. It's supposed to be a whole nother 13 I'm supposed to go through if these 13 don't work out. But right now, you know, one of them especially seemed to be pretty relevant, you know. I could be wrong, but one of them seemed pretty straight. I just don't talk much about them. I just cross that bridge when we get there. But I wasn't gonna really talk about relationship until I had that dream. And but it really wasn't about her though. I just thought about her for some reason. I don't know why. I just know she could be ruthless in her spiritual self. But cause she's really strong. She can intervene in ways that most can't, you know, in my psyche. So, cause they put her in, it's like these chairs that rotate inside of you. And it'd be like your passenger chairs. You gotta have a passenger. And they put her in it not too long ago. And ain't gonna be no coming out of it. That's why I said even if she move on, she gonna think about it. It'll be probably the same way for the both of us. Once you've been together, it was like God made me utilize that float the whole time I was stuck in that situation with that test. So it was partially a lot of y'all fault that kept playing and goofing off. Cause it was like God helped me find my wife in the spiritual so it wouldn't be sin in the physical doing that test temporarily. Now if I'd have kept doing it, then it would have been sin. That's really what it was. So that's how I accidentally ran into my wife in the physical. That's actually my wife in the spiritual. Something like that. But do she feel that way? I can't say that. I can feel her. I can feel when she think about me. I can feel like they cleansed one of these braces. I think it was cleansed through prayer. In other words, it made it more spiritual than something they probably created in the physical. And that's the one she attached to. So, I think they probably cleansed them both, but either way it go, I feel her on more than just that brace though. So, it's like so much so I could think about something to make her laugh or smile, and I get a reaction back in a couple seconds, in a few seconds, or in a couple minutes. That's how close we are knitted together. You know what I'm saying? And I know she feel it in the physical as well. This is something that's from the spiritual to the physical, about like the itch that I know she's starting to pick up on. But the other girl is just like a backup girl, man. It's like this girl coming after everybody, after the other 13 and everybody. This girl is tropical, or she's definitely from probably foreign land. And she not, I just know she ain't African American though. I don't think so. She ain't African American. And I know she come after everybody regardless. Why? Because the energy is being straightened out. I'm straightening my energy out. And don't forget what I said. The beautiful thing about energy is when your energy recognized every male got so many females that come to them in a lifetime. Same thing, vice versa. For the females. So, it's a spiritual light, gotta be. So, with that being said, somebody gonna come regardless. It's gonna be up to me if I wanna be single or not. So they were like, somebody did another magic trick. And I'm starting to recognize these magic tricks. But this is supposed to be the last one. I meant to tell y'all that. Ain't that good? Thank God. Clap your hands. This is supposed to be the last one. This particular magic trick that they use, it lasts so long. Not like, well, it might can last a couple months at the most. But it lasts for so long. I'm sure they got something that lasts longer, or this probably doesn't last longer, but the longest I ever known this particular magic trick to last is like 2 months probably. If that long. Most of the time it's a couple weeks. And you go through these phases when everything going good, everything going right, and then all of a sudden, boom, you hit this brick wall and you run across all these issues and these supposed to be lovers that supposed to have came, that's already done been in the bed with my family somehow or dealt with my family in some way, and or dealing with my exes, and really was supposed to be companions, lovers in the past that I ran across, females that I ran across that I never asked out or couldn't ask out, that were probably siblings to my exes, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Just weird stuff. But like I said, my South Node, it was females that I didn't ask out and I didn't think to ask out that was actually part of my family tree. I know that now after I got to know the North Node. But see, somebody finally done reached 12. They was going back and forth, debating on whether to help or not. I guess they finally chose to get with 11. Them 11 is bad. So now that number finally done reached 12. And they wilding out too now. It's just messy. Now a lot of them, it ain't even me. It's just that they done got in some kind of low vibration. And they stuck in a repetition or something. They got their own problem. And if they didn't have them problem, they would have came to me. Let's just say that. And they just messing it up for everybody. Everybody else stuck in that window. They stuck in that window with the rest of them. But so I was sitting here, I was listening to my ancestors yesterday, and they was talking about a particular girl that I listened to who will be good for somebody that an old friend of mine. We really family though. I ain't really got no friends. Most of us were family. But I call them friends too though. But I told them I wasn't gonna deal with them to the smoke clear. because there's just so much going on, and I already can't trust nobody, and I don't need to make no more problems than I already got. And when it comes down to somebody that close to you, it can really become a problem if you don't know how to work it out. So I'm trying to wait to cross that bridge as well when it get there. When that bridge get here, I cross it. Until then, I'm just staying to myself, letting God work on me, build me and mold me, and make me a better person. That's it. I know this message probably don't mean nothing to y'all, but it means something to me. I just know that it's been a lot of women problems out there. It's funny because I ain't got nobody. I ain't had nobody in a long time. And it feel like I always have had women problems though. And it's because the energy is re-navigated. And they dealing with people that ain't me. And they trying to understand me, get to know me through other people. And that ain't gonna work. I don't know where they got that from. That's how warped the energy is. But like I said, for this one particular person that they did connect me with, it was gonna get connected anyway. But I think that was one of the things I had to do in this lifetime. Another thing I had to do. It was like we just had to find each other though, and basically link back up. So it's because it's a possibility me and her was pulled apart from each other in another lifetime. And it could have been by my flame. I don't know. Maybe. I doubt it though. I think that flame was really just part of me. But somehow in another lifetime I got pulled away from a lover. See, we must understand though, I think it's different on the spiritual. And I think you connected to so many of them. So I really can't say who disconnected us in another lifetime. I just understand how it feels to be pulled apart from somebody now that I went through this with my flame. And that's what happened to me and this other one in another lifetime. And it's like we gotta get put back together in this lifetime. And that's it. What is it? That's a camera. Man, I wish I'd have held my phone up, boy. If y'all seen that little light that just went under the tree right there, my phone should have caught it, bro. I had to walk back. I was like, wait a minute. I thought it was that little light pole. I thought it was that pole right there. I don't know if y'all can see it where it's blinking. That red light behind that bright light. Hold on, let me show you. You said red light right there? I thought it was that right there. But I was like, hold on, I ain't facing that way. And that thing went down slow, bro. Like it was a microphone. I caught your ass on camera. But yeah. So, it's like, once they swapped her seat out, they put this other one in it. And once they do that, it's a wrap, really. I mean, if we did want to get together, it wouldn't be no problem. But outside of what we're going through now with all this messy stuff that's going on. But trust me, your ancestors don't put you together with nobody if you don't fit. You put yourself with them, and that's why it don't work out. Yep. You put yourself with them, that's why it don't work out. Because the ancestors is quarreling with each other, they beefing with each other. Yep. But yeah, the other girl that I was talking about in my last lecture yesterday, this woman is just gonna come around when everybody else fails. This woman somehow is watching me though. She ain't really watching me, I don't think. She's watching everybody else. This one, it's something different about this woman though. This particular person. I don't know who this person is. I never met him in this physical world. I just seen him when God told me all the stories. And basically it was a worst case scenario where every one of them girls failed. And this particular woman just come out of nowhere, knock on my door, introduce herself, and we just get married. And it was one story where I got with her ex sibling. You know, and it was a one story where I got with a, I was supposed to get with a female and she went the other way and she busted a U-turn. And then I was working and she came to my job and introduced herself properly. And then it was just a lot of different stories, about 4 or 5 stories with different endings. But like I said, I try to clear my head with all that. I don't put my energy into that because there's so much with this movie or whatever they got going on. There's so much hypocritical stuff going on, sacrilege and fake marriages and all that stuff. I just stay out of it because first and foremost, most importantly, I don't want to hurt nobody by jumping to conclusion and just dismantling everybody, because some of these relationships is real. It's like, okay, let's say by some kind of an experiment, there's placements of fake marriages. Well, let's say it's 10 fake marriages. Well, out of 10 of them, one of them might be actually real. So you just want to let them go and let them do their thing and let them fade out on their own. Because just don't put your heart into it and don't have no high hopes for it. Love God. Love God. And God, as long as you love God and you give your all to God, you gonna feel the actual woman out of the whole 13 that actually care for you and love you. You ain't gotta make no contact with them. You ain't gotta be physically in contact with them. You gonna feel that woman love for you. Even if she with somebody, you gonna feel that woman love for you. You gonna feel her love for you. And for out of the first 13, I felt the love. I felt the love out of a lot of them, at least 7 of them. But they was gallivanting, they was busybody, they was all over the place. But 2 of them, one of them still kind of like a busybody, but she still kept the love for me, holding on tightly. But one of them actually been there, hard, you know, like as if she already married to me, you know, something like that. So, you know, and that's just been that. But I don't know these girls. I never met these girls. I never met them. I seen them on social media. That's it. I never met them physically. So I don't know. And then it's this other 13 that's finna come through. It's supposed to come through, if they come through. If they don't come through, that's good. That means this is almost over. But if they do come through, that means I got a little bit to go. To me, it's just God keeping me company. You know? Keeping me company, keeping me up to date, and keeping me prepared and ready. You know? Going through different things with different women that I ain't never met and understanding different emotions. That's it. Making me stronger. That's it. I hope I never have another conversation like this. I don't really like to get into this stuff because, like I said, I'm single. I'm without. Been without for a very long time. But I can tell by the emotion wave in the air that I might need to say something. I just want y'all to know, 'cause I know some women out there they get a thrill off of thinking somebody gonna be alone, stay alone. That's a lie. That's all organization garbage. somebody renavigated energy and been renavigating energy for a long time. Ain't nobody supposed to be alone unless you choose to be alone. That's facts. I know, when I was physically in a relationship, I had too many women that were hell bent on me being by myself. That's a lie. That's narcissist stuff. Everybody got somebody. Everybody. And if you ain't find them, you either going in the wrong way or somebody unalived you and stole your energy from you. And you don't know it. But yep, that's it. That's it, y'all. That's all I want to say. Yep, that's it, pretty much. Just give your all to God and give it all to God. You know what I'm saying? And you work on all that. If you want to love her, prove it to God. God will bring you somebody. I assure you that. I know that for a fact. God will bring you somebody. You got to put the work in, though. You got to put the work in. You have to put the work in. And like I said, you'll feel this person. You'll feel these particular people get close to you. And it still really don't mean nothing, though. You know? That's what I'm saying. It still really don't mean nothing. These people get close to you. It can also be, you know, they can connect so many people to you. And it's almost like whichever one work out. Normally it's two of them. And they be trying to get to you. Like, even this other one that's got a lot going on, she still studied trying to climb to get to me. She ain't telling nobody. She keeping it real secret. But I can feel her, though. And I can feel her almost as close as this other one. The problem with this one is that she got some baggage going on. She got some stuff going on. So it's keeping her behind. It's like I can feel these women. It's like me lining up these rocks on the ground. And I can feel them. I can feel which one is closest to me than the other one. You know, I can feel which one is closer to me than the rest of them. And then I can feel the one next to her. And then I can feel the one next to her. Yeah, it's just like that. And then I can also feel my homies' girls. That's supposed to, all my homies, probably even some of the homies that passed away, I could tell, not feel them, but I could tell, you know, the girls that would have been with my homies. Or some of the ones that still here, you know. I ain't even been around nobody in so long, though, y'all. I haven't been around nobody in so long. I just been with God. But they there, though. They there. They there. But, yep, that's it, though.